You already know how much I love computer science history, but there are individuals who had to make that history computer scientists. So this isn't an exhaustive list of computer scientists, ones that you should know about, but a handful that I selected because I found their story very interesting. So we're going to learn a little bit about them, what they contributed to computer science, and hopefully that plants the seed to want you to go and do more research into them or what they contributed to computer science. All right, so in no particular order, we're going to first start with Leslie Lamport.
My name is Leslie Lamport, and I am a computer scientist.
If you've ever had to write an academic paper in math or computer science or similar, you probably use something called LaTeX, a system Leslie Lamport developed on top of TeX by Knuth, but we'll get to him in a second.
It's my pleasure to introduce today Leslie Lamport. He's got a wonderful collection of stuff on the desk here, so I'm excited to know what it's going to be about.
But the thing is, Leslie Lamport is even more known for something else, for his work in distributed systems, a field that he kind of pioneered, which garnered him the moniker the father of distributed computing, which, if you didn't know, is the method of making computers work together to solve a common problem.
A distributed system is one in which your computer can be rendered useless by the failure of a computer that you didn't even know existed.
He invented the Paxos algorithm for consensus, the bakery algorithm for mutual exclusion, and many more formal modeling and verification protocols that really improve real distributed systems. Oh yeah, and his paper, the Byzantine generals problem, I should probably look up how to pronounce that, but I'm not going to. Byzantine, we're going to go with that. Kind of laid the foundation for blockchain technology, where he addressed the fundamental issue in distributed networks, how to achieve consensus among nodes that may not all be reliable. He started as a mathematician, as most computer scientists do, earning a bachelor's degree in mathematics from MIT, and then going on to earn his master's and PhD in mathematics from Brandeis University, as well as honorary doctorate degrees from 5 different universities. Which all makes sense, you know, math and computer science, considering the fact that computer science is really just applied math with computers.
My education was as a mathematician. It was just natural for me to think about computers as a mathematician.
Leslie Lamport is a member of the National Academy of Engineering, a fellow of the ACM, and has been awarded the Dijkstra Prize 3 times, the Emanuel R. Pior Award, the John von Neumann Medal, and was 2013's Turing Award winner. And if we were to go over the rest of his accolades, well, we'd be here all day. Just know that, you know, his work just kind of forms the basis for modern computing, and that today still focuses on research in distributed systems at Microsoft Research, developing tools and languages such as TLA+. Donald Knuth, I told you we'd talk about him. Also, that is how you pronounce his name, which is unnatural for me, because if that's how I pronounce all words like that, then my name would be Fars Knight, but it's not, it's Fars Knight. Anyway, there are few names as revered as Donald Knuth when it comes to the bedrock of computer programming. He is known as the father of algorithm analysis. And yes, if you're curious, basically everybody has the moniker of father this, mother that, architect over here, the pioneer of this and that. It's just how it goes. If Leslie Lamport helped us understand how to make computers work together, Donald Knuth taught us how to make them work efficiently in the first place. You may have heard of what may be considered his seminal work, The Art of Computer Programming, TAOCP, a multi-volume ongoing series of books first published in 1968 and still relevant today. The poor typesetting in his second volume of TAOCP actually led to the creation of TeX, the computer typesetting system that Leslie Lamport built LaTeX on top of. We just talked about it. Also, sorry, I just bumped the mic. Anyway, while developing TeX, he created a new methodology of programming, literate programming, because he believed that programmers should think of programs as works of literature.
Idea of I decided to call literate programming, which is a way of treating computer program as literature. where a computer program is something that human beings are supposed to read, and you write that for people to read rather than for a computer to read.
This idea was later embodied in his web and later C-web systems. Donald Knuth has his bachelor's and master's from Case, and then his PhD from Caltech, all in, you guessed it, mathematics. He is the first ever Grace Murray Hopper Award winner in 1971, the 1974 Turing Award winner, which I'm also pretty sure he holds the record for being the youngest ever Turing Award winner at age of only 36. He's earned the National Medal of Science, the John von Neumann Medal, the Kyoto Prize, and, well, many more accolades.
Does the system work? Coach Heim thinks so. His team won 11 out of 14 games so far this year.
Today, Donald Knuth continues to write The Art of Computer Programming, and he is also a professor emeritus at Stanford University. Proto-Arc Arc Protector. Wait, that's not a computer scientist. No. That's this ergonomic office chair sponsoring this portion of today's video. As programmers, we spend just as much time in our office chairs as we do in our beds, so we ought to make sure it's sufficient for the longevity of our bodies. The Proto-Arc's Arc Protector Ergonomic Smart Chair allows us to do that. They have 8 posture sensors to meticulously monitor every aspect of your sitting position and adjust the adaptive lumbar airbags to automatically fit you. Not only that, but those sensors talk to the optional Smart app to encourage balanced sitting or give you a standing routine via alerts. And of course, every possible adjustable feature that you've come to love and know in office chairs. Recline from 90 degrees to 135 degrees in 4 lockable positions. I'd actually lay like this. Fully adjustable armrests with 360-degree rotation, adjustable headrest, height position, and seat depth. And wait for it, retractable footrest. Yeah, that's cozy. Crowdfunding for this chair starts today. Use the link in the description to receive the limited time offer.
Our first guest tonight has credits that are far too impressive for any guest on this program. This woman recently retired from the United States Navy as a Rear Admiral and was, until that time, the nation's oldest active military officer. She is also a pioneer in the computer field, as well as a brilliant and charming woman. Please welcome Admiral Grace Hopper. Grace, thank you very much.
Grace Hopper. Legend. A pioneer of computer programming and more affectionately known as Amazing Grace. She was also one of the first programmers on the Harvard Mark I computer. She was the first to devise the theory of machine-independent programming languages, and the Flowmatic programming language she created using this theory later was extended into this little language you may have heard of called COBOL.
But you're known as the queen of software. Is that right?
More or less.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know,
Quite a bit about that.
And if you don't know her by that, you may know her as a woman who discovered the first computer bug. And when I say that, I mean the first actual computer bug. A moth. A moth that she found in Harvard's Mark II. Well, technically, one of the computer operators found it, but she thought it was so funny, so she took it, she put it on the card, she wrote first actual case of bug being found, and it's now kind of part of this little museum called the Smithsonian. Grace Hopper held a bachelor's from Vassar College in math and physics, a master's and PhD in mathematics from Yale, and was awarded 40 honorary doctorates from universities across the globe, as well as the National Medal of Technology, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and for whatever reason, the ACM never gave her the Turing Award. But, you know, she was like, forget that, I'll just create my own award. Actually, well, the ACM created her own award, known as the Grace Murray Hopper Award, the one that Donald Knuth won the first one in 1971. Yeah, so who needs a Turing Award when you have your own? And all of this doesn't even scratch the surface. The U.S. Navy named a guided missile destroyer after her, USS Hopper. Yale renamed their Calhoun College to Grace Hopper College. She has a satellite named after her, Google's undersea network cable named after her, Grace Hopper Memorial Bridge, academic buildings, parks, NVIDIA's super chip, and just an absolute litany of other places and programs are named after her.
If you'd gone into private industry, you'd probably be a very rich person.
I've already received the highest award I'll ever receive, no matter how long I live, no matter how many more jobs I may have. And that has been the privilege and the responsibility of serving very proudly in the United States Navy.
like I said, after all of this and everything that I don't have time to list, absolute legend. Claude Shannon. This guy right here. How Claude Shannon invented the information age. A Mind at Play. Good book, by the way. Just saying. You ever wonder who kind of founded, or at least was one of the founders of the field, that's a little popular right now, artificial intelligence? Yeah, Claude Shannon kind of did.
Hello, I'm Claude Shannon, a mathematician here at the Bell Telephone Laboratories. This is Theseus. Theseus is an electrically controlled mouse. He has the ability to solve a certain class of problems by trial and error means and then remember the solution. In other words, he can learn from experience.
Which is, in fact, machine learning, and thus the first case of artificial intelligence. But that's not even what he's most known for. At just 21 years old, pursuing his master's at MIT, he wrote his master's thesis, demonstrating that electrical applications of Boolean algebra could construct any logical numerical relationship, establishing the theory behind digital computing and digital circuits.
Claude Shannon at MIT wrote the best master's thesis ever. Mm-hmm. In his master's thesis, he invented our modern notion of digital logic. Where it came from was Vannevar Bush. He created the post-war research establishment that led to the National Science Foundation. And he made an important mistake, which we can talk about. But he also made the differential analyzer, which was the last great analog computer. So it was a room full of gears and pulleys, and the longer it ran, the worse the answer was. And Shannon worked on it as a student, and he got so annoyed in his master's thesis, he invented digital logic.
He literally laid the groundwork for digital circuit design theory. Oh, wait. That's not what he's best known for either. What do we have on the... Can I pick up this book? What did this say again? How Claude Shannon invented the information age. That's right. He single-handedly created information theory and is known, of course, he has a moniker of the architect, some say father, architect of the information age, or some say the father of information theory, whatever. He introduced the world to the concept of bits of information, coining the term bit. This changed how everyone understood and measured digital communication and storage. And through this theory, he established principles that determine the most efficient methods of encoding and transmitting information. Or, in other words, he provided the blueprint for all digital communications you know today. He did this in his paper titled A Mathematical Theory of Communication, published in 1948.
When Shannon's paper came out, it was like a bombshell, like Newton coming out with the laws of motion.
For a long time, people didn't really understand what this was all about.
Again, everything that you know today, all communications, published in 1948, the theory. So whether it's a text message, a TV broadcast, an internet download, what Shannon laid out for how information is quantified, transmitted, and encoded paved the way for all of this. His theories transformed text and streaming signals into zeros and ones. And among everyone listed here, his story, at the very least, has to be my favorite. And it's because I guess it's because of all that cool stuff, but it's really because of his playful curiosity, which is fueled by his genius. Because for me, what I love to do most is make things. Anything from a boat to a website to an AI robot that shoots a Nerf gun in my face when I get distracted. Any type of making I love doing. And apparently Claude Shannon did too. With, let's just say, slightly more capability than myself. He during his time, again, the mid-20th century, he built juggling robots. Chess-playing machines, and a device that could solve the Rubik's Cube.
Who makes a flaming trumpet? A rocket-powered frisbee.
Yeah, a little bit, slightly more capable.
I enjoyed working on this kind of a problem, as I have enjoyed working on many other problems without any notion of either financial or gain in the sense of being famous and so on. And I think, indeed, that most scientists are oriented that way, that they are working because they like the game.
And like Grace Hopper, may not have won the Turing Award, but instead has an award of his own, the Claude E. Shannon Award, with the first ever winner of that being Claude Shannon. I think that's pretty awesome. And what may be even cooler than that, he didn't need to win the Turing Award, I guess, considering the fact that he got his own award, but not even that. He came to know Alan Turing himself, even for just a brief moment. In 1943, they worked together, and they spent time in the cafeteria, shooting a breeze, I suppose, talking about technology, and Alan Turing actually showed Claude Shannon his 1936 paper, which laid out the universal Turing machine. And Claude Shannon was very, very interested in it because a lot of these just ideas complemented his own. So he was very impressed. Claude Shannon had 2 bachelor's degrees from the University of Michigan, 1 in electrical engineering and 1 in mathematics, a master's in electrical engineering, and a PhD in mathematics from MIT.
His awards include the National Medal of Science, Japan's Kyoto Prize, and the IEEE Medal of Honor. He's a fellow at AT&T, MIT, UCSD, Princeton, and IBM, to name just a few. But perhaps his biggest honor is in Florham Park, New Jersey.
A statue at AT&T Shannon Labs, which is what was renamed from what was left over after the split of Bell Labs, so they renamed it from their portion of Bell Labs to Shannon Labs. An intellect on par with Einstein or Newton. And I mean, the entire digital revolution started with him. I mean, I'm sure there are other individuals as well, but every device containing a microprocessor or microcontroller is a conceptual descendant of Shannon's 1948 publication. What I recommend is either read this book about him, read the wiki, watch the film, which I haven't yet, but I really want to. I hope it's good. I just watched it. It's good. Just do something. I'll link, the book and all that stuff below in the description, as well as I'll try to do that for everybody else, because again, this is planting a seed and wanting you to learn more. So how about I help you out even further and link each individual and their wiki or something about them? Because the fact of the matter is you can't even look in a single direction without seeing something directly related to Claude Shannon's contributions to computer science.
What would the world look like if Claude Shannon hadn't done what he did?
So this is just part 1 to my, what I believe will be 2-part series, kind of, going over some of the most important computer scientists in history. I was going to make it all in one video, but it's very, very long. I mean, even this video is very, very long. So if you want to hear more, there's at least 5, well, technically 7. 2 of them are duos. 5 more computer scientists that are going to be in the next video. And then there are some honorable mentions because maybe I've made a video or 2 on some of these other individuals in the past already. So if you want to watch that, subscribe or something, whatever. I guess that would be the best way to go about it. I plan to release that later this month, so just stay tuned. Appreciate it, especially if you like this video. You'll like that one. Same thing, different computer scientists. All right, actually that's all. Y'all have a good one.